Well, hi there, fifth grade. Good morning. It's Monday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I am making this little tutorial to guide you through this week's lessons. Again, it's two things are going to look a little different because you won't get a new assignment. Like in reading and science, you will not get a new assignment like every day per se, like we've been doing. Math will follow the format of video and then independent practice. And there will be challenge things and internet links to online practice. So math pretty much follows the format, guys. Okay, watch the lesson review, complete independent practice, and just kind of go through again. iReady is still a thing, right? We still have, and then the extension activities will be posted. So Monday is review of adding fractions, Tuesday is review of subtracting, Wednesday both together, Thursday multiplying fractions, which guys, that's really not that hard. It sounds scary, but we remember it's not. It's been a while, but it's not hard. And then Friday is a fractions review quiz, looking for superstars there. It's just kind of puts everything together from the week. Again, none of this is new information, so it should not be too stressful. In reading, my darlings, you're going to have a choice board. So here's a note from your teacher. Hi, friends. Put on your thinking cap and let me see your creativity shine through. Each day for the next 2 weeks, you'll pick one square to do. Some squares are for writing, and some you will need the current book you're reading to help you complete the square. Then you will find the appropriate slide and add your work to it. Do not repeat squares. I can't wait to see what you make. See you soon, love. Your teacher, yours truly, Mrs. Dimino, knows who this is. So, I'll give you a little looky. Here's your choice board. And what the beautiful thing is, you have a slide for each choice you make. Nicely dated. Shout out to Mrs. Halford at Meadowmere for making these slides. Okay, and I know it says choice one again, but you can see that this is for next week. So what I will be doing for my class is posting a slide a day. So I'll push it out as an assignment. Choice one has been posted for today, and so on and so forth. Now, there are 12 squares. You must only do 10. So if there's 2 activities on here that you're just like, oh, groan, ick, yuck, puke, I don't want to do that, then don't do it because you only have to do 10 out of 12. So let me just quickly go through these activities so you have kind of an idea of what you're doing. Choose 6 tricky words from the text. Determine the meaning of the words and then use them in a new sentence. Would you recommend your book to a friend? Why or why not? Include specific details from the story in your writing. Choose a chapter or section to summarize. What's the main idea of this section or chapter? Okay, so you don't have to do the whole book, just a chunk of it. And that could be fiction or nonfiction, couldn't it? So if you're reading a book about cheese or cheetahs or whatever, then you could do that. But if you're also reading like a novel, like Harry Potter or The Lightning Thief, you can use a chapter of that. So just so you know. Write a journal entry about an important life lesson you learned while reading about an individual and how it will help you in the future. Most likely, guys, that's going to be those stories about famous people you've learned that are fantastic, like Amelia Earhart or, Frederick Douglass or, people who've left their mark on the world. That's probably going to be a nonfiction entry. So, we want you to think about some amazing people you've read about. Make connections. Mrs. Dimino does love a good connection. So make connections across stories. Compare and contrast this story to another one that you've read before. That's to me, that's really not a very hard one. Choose fiction or nonfiction story you love. Create a movie poster. Put some heart into it. Don't just get pencil and paper and slap it down. Really think about if you were going to advertise this into a movie, what would make people want to spend all their money to watch that movie? You got to design it though so the story elements, so I want to see the character, the setting, the problem, and solution are easily identifiable and others think it's as great as you do. So pick something that you feel passionate about. Select a character trait that best describes the main character of the story. Create an acrostic poem using each letter. So last week we learned about acrostic poems. If you read about a character that you think is selfish, you're going to write the word selfish vertically up and down, and you're going to write examples from the story about that character and what makes them selfish. Excuse me. If you could change the ending of the story, how would you change it and why? Okay. Again, we read books together this year that you guys were kind of like, wait, that's it? That's how it ends? Okay. Like out of my mind with Melody. A lot of you guys were not real happy with how that ended. All right. Many children spend hours playing video games. Write a made up story about getting trapped in a video game. So think about a lot of you playing Roblox. What would happen if you all of a sudden were like sucked into your computer and you're trapped in that video game. So it's a little sci-fi action. I really hope some of you picked that because that looks really awesome. Sometimes moments happen that we want to remember for a long time. Write about a memory you want to remember, something that you just in your life you don't want to forget it. Pretend you're a journalist and write an article. A solid paragraph is good, guys. If you want to write more, okay. But if you don't, just make sure there's plenty of detail. But it's about being quarantined and distance learning since March 16th. Give factual information as well as personal experience. What are the pros? What are the cons? Okay. For me, a pro is probably I've gotten more creative with technology and I've done things that I never knew that I could do. I always thought about it, but I never made myself do it. And I'm doing it. Here I am, making a video. Cons, obviously. I really miss my classroom and being with you in my classroom. Trying to teach on a computer is just not the same. So there's a huge con. That's a negative, isn't it? All right, and then what's the theme? What's that life lesson, that overarching life lesson that you're supposed to take after reading that story? How does the author use time, place, and character to convey this theme? So it's really, I think there's a lot of fun stuff here. I'd like to think you could find 10 that you would love to do. And even if you don't love all of them, I bet you can fake it till you make it. So here are some book resources, guys. I have emailed, and if if you are another class that happens to be listening to this, if your teacher has mailed your parents an invite to Epic Books, every one of your parents should have gotten an email. If not, let me know, and I'll make sure they do. But Epic has a ton of resources. Also, the library, one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. I love the smell of a good book, but we can't go into the library. But guess what? All of their resources are online. If you don't have a library card, now's your chance. It's free, and your parents can help you get through that, or an older sibling, whatever. So I highly recommend the library. And then there's something called Book Riot, and so here's a link to it. It's on the Google Classrooms, and and again, if you have books at home, yay! If any of this is a problem for you, please reach out to me. I will find an alternative plan. I will fix it, but just try to utilize these resources in front of you. All right, sorry, just wanted you to know this is what it'll look like for the assignment today, guys. And you just click on here, type, call it a day. Submit it, there you go. Don't forget to turn it in. Now, science, my friends, looks like this, okay? Science is going to give you a chance to go through the engineering and design process, okay? You are going to design the next best toy. I don't know if you've ever watched, what's the name of that show where they have to present inventions in front of the panel? I can't think of it right now, but anyway, it's something that you would pretend that you're going to create this toy and present it and make people pick yours. Above all other toys, why would they pick yours? And what would make a kid, go to their family and say, please, 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 I need this toy so bad. Everybody has one. Look how cool it is, right? It's your chance to use your powers of persuasion. So this slide was attached in the stream on Google Classroom, but your assignment will look like this, guys. Boom. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Stay tuned. And where? I already made a copy, but it wants me to do it again. Okay, there it is. This is your created toy project, okay? Everything you need is in here, but it's a step-by-step process. And guys, there's a lot of information, but it's meant to be done over a week. This isn't meant to be so you sit down in one day and just, knock it out, because that's a little overwhelming. So if you look here, you see Here's your intro video right here, okay? And then you go into, here's your memo, toy project, Grandview fifth graders. In a joint effort between our schools, we are combining forces to find the next big toy craze. You are, oh, it should say you are being hired to create a design for the perfect toy. Your job is to research, design, and build the toy and create an advertisement to present it. We will then judge the toys and choose the best ones to make the toy to be the toy craze of the summer. Make sure you follow the criteria and constraints on the next pages closely to make sure your toy passes all requirements and regulations. Happy toy building, the management. So here's the criteria, guys. You got to use the steps of the design process that is spelled out in the slide, in a couple slides. You got to have at least one moving part in your toy. It's got to be a working prototype that's durable and safe for children to use. I'll get into that in a second, what exactly a prototype is. It should have a unique and recognizable name and design, suitable for children ages 6 to 12, and it should be something new that does not already exist. What does the fact that this is bold tell you? It's got to be original. Cannot already be a thing. You can't come up with a pencil and say, look, it's the next best toy. So the materials are limited to parts in your house. You can ask your parents for permission. Well, not can. You have to ask your parents for permission to use any materials you choose, especially anything you must cut, break, or take apart. You can use other toys for parts, but it's still got to be original. So you can use a part of another toy, but it has to be to create something new. You can use building toys such as Legos, but again, include parts from other toys, other things as well. So again, it's the answer the questions in the ask section, which is coming. Then in the explore section, create and label sketches of 3 separate toy ideas. Again, attach those pictures and sketches. Think about which ideas you like the best. Plan what materials you'll need to create your prototype, which is kind of your little model of what it's going to be. Build your toy and upload a picture of it. Come up with a clever name, test out your toy, and fill out the evaluation questions. Plan an advertisement for it. You guys have seen commercials. You guys have seen a million times, people want to sell you something. At the end of the day, all that stuff, it's consumerism, man. They want you to buy their stuff. So you got to create something that they want to buy. The masses, the public wants to buy. So how are you going to convince people to do that? And then create your advertisement, upload it to Flipgrid. There's a video here, and we've seen the crash course before, the SciShow. Same people make it. It's about the engineering process. So again, ask, explore, model, evaluate, explain. This is the basis for engineering. And guys, engineering is a field that maybe in your life you want to go into. Maybe some of you love this. If you don't, it's still fun to make a toy, but if you do, think about planting this little seed, and maybe someday you'll be somebody that creates something that solves a problem for the world, or maybe who knows what the possibilities are. All right, so here's a little bit more about asking. Okay, here's your questions that you need to answer. You can type directly on it. I've attached it as an assignment. Here's 3 examples of prototypes, sketches that you can look at. This is what you're doing, okay? You have all this, don't panic. I know I'm going fast. And then, so here's the place for your 3 prototype sketches. Then you gotta make it, build the model, all right? Here's where all that goes, the picture and the materials you used. And then talk about it. Talk about your toy, answer these questions, evaluate the toy. Was it good? Was it not? Then you got to explain. Here's your advertisement. Show it off. Here's the link to Flipgrid. And then here are examples. Commercials are short spots that go between shows. Infomercials are the ones that could be up to like 30 minutes. And usually they're on late at night, or there's channels that are dedicated to that. But infomercials are a lot longer. So go ahead and decide how you want to present it. And as creative as you want to be, this is your chance. So, 5th grade, I challenge you this week. Really give this your last hurrah. We have 2 weeks left of new lessons, and then the last week will be for games and fun Zooms and all that stuff. So, just Keep strong. This isn't easy for teachers either. It's so hard to feel disconnected from you, but I have faith in you completely. This is your chance. This is your time to shine. So enjoy this. Enjoy the lessons, my friends. Until next time, take care, stay safe.